Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to week 3, episode 11. Week 3, episode 11. Good morning to you. Good day, wherever you're watching from this morning. Thank you all. We thank God for the gift of life. We thank God for another privilege to be alive today. We give Him all the glory. We are in the series. The Joy of Marriage God's Way. The Joy of Marriage God's Way by Beverly, Lahaye. And we are, on the next chapter that we'll be talking about. It's going to be sexual fulfillment in marriage. Sexual fulfillment in marriage. If you have missed any of the episodes, please go back, and listen to them, watch it, so that you can, and also more importantly, you can even get the book on Amazon. So the book is on Amazon. Just look for it, and the title is there, for you to get the book. How are you doing? I hope you have it somewhere in your heart to be joyful, to have a joyful relationship, to have a joyful marriage, and that is why you're watching this. To have a joyful relationship. So we are on a journey. I'm also on a journey at the same time, and tag along. So today we are talking. I'll just go right into it because of our time. Today, sexual fulfillment in marriage. Sexual fulfillment in marriage. Everybody want to be fulfilled one way or the other in their relationships. We don't have a relationship thinking that, I just want that relationship to be miserable, or the marriage to be miserable, or you feel like nobody actually gets married to want to divorce. Nobody gets married to want to have a broken home. Nobody wants to get married to have an abusive relationship. Nobody wants to get married and then, have a chaotic relationship whereby, the home is broken, children are left on their own, one parent family, and all the kind of broken homes and everything like that. Nobody actually planned for that. But guess what? When we don't have the right knowledge, indirectly we are planning for that. When we are not humble enough to seek the right knowledge in order for our relationships to thrive, we are actively or subconsciously, looking for those results. When we take wedding ceremony more important than the marriage itself, we are actually planning for that kind of disaster in the future. When we are selfish, when we don't seek the truth, we are actually planning for all of this chaos in the future, So, but what if that is even our reality right now? There is hope. Guess what? There is hope. So as long as we, get the right knowledge, we can always get better. Today is a new day. Today is a new day. Today is a new day for a change. Today is a new day for hope. Today is a new day to, move in that direction of positivity, move in that direction of optimism, move in that direction whereby you cannot change what has happened in the past, but you can change what your future can be, and you can also steer the course of your life and of my life. So by seeking the right knowledge, we can do that. So, sexual fulfillment in marriage. Sexual fulfillment in marriage. And there's a quote here. It says that, He is my beloved and I am His. His banner over me is love. His presence sustains and refreshes me. I am lovesick. His left hand is under my head and His right hand embraces me. He is all I've ever dreamt of and more. This is adapted from the Song of Solomon in the Bible. So the author is saying, now I've just read, it says, when I was a young girl, I always had an eagerness to know God and understand His word and His will for my life. After I married, I was particularly curious about God's intentions for me in my sexual relationship with my husband. Excuse me. Since I was raised since I was raised in a Mennonite home and community where sexuality just wasn't discussed, I was uncertain about the pleasure we were enjoying with each other. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. So we're talking about sexual fulfillment in marriage. Sexual fulfillment in marriage. Welcome. So she was reading. It says, since I was raised in a Mennonite home and community where sexuality just wasn't discussed. Sexuality was not discussed. I was uncertain about the pleasure we were enjoying with each other. So my husband and I searched the scriptures to try to understand what the Bible teaches about sex. It proved to be a wonderful experience during that first year of our marriage, like the honeymoon stage, We discovered that God indeed affirms us as sexual persons and intends for us to delight in each other sexually in marriage. It was 12 years later that we began writing and teaching about sexuality from a Christian perspective. Now, after more than 25 years of counseling others, welcome. We're talking about sexual purity in marriage. So, after more than 25 years of counseling others, we have received hundreds of questions from couples seeking insight into God's design for a sexual relationship in marriage, how it works, concerns they have, and help they need. Good morning, Regina. So, let me share 2 emails I recently received. One woman writes, after our daughter was born a year ago, I wasn't interested in sex, but it didn't bother me. I was sure that with time, things would get better. So if you're watching this, if you're just listening to this now, you're single, we're talking about sexual fulfillment in marriage, just take it in and prepare your mind. And I don't want to be kind of, I know that a lot of single people are having sex. So that's just the reality of the matter. Good morning. Good morning. Like a lot of, we're talking about sexual fulfillment in marriage. The point is a lot of single people are having sex. And that is just the gospel truth, But in the actual sense of it, if you want to do it God's way, sex should be in marriage. So, if you have comments in the comment section or probably in our Q&A session, I want to hear your thoughts on this. What is your opinion regarding this matter? Okay, but today we'll be focusing on sexual fulfillment in marriage, and I'm sure for singles that are here that are watching us, I feel you want to be fulfilled in your marital life. You want to be fulfilled when you get married one day. Okay, so it says the lady here is saying that after she gave birth to a child, she wasn't interested in sex anymore, and it didn't bother her. Okay, she said, I was sure that with time things would get better, but now 12 months have gone by, and if anything, it's gotten worse. Before the birth of our child, my husband and I were sexually active. Can you tell me how to increase my desire for sex? I love my husband very much and hate that we are experiencing these problems. So an older woman wrote, I simply can't remember a time when I experienced a physical desire for sexual relationships. This is haunting me forever. I decided years ago just to let it go, that I was not normal and I never would be. Is it too late for me? Okay, that's the emails that the author got from several people. And also, and I feel like when it comes to sexual desire, it's more for the men than for the women. But you can put your thoughts in the comment section. I think that, more men are more sexually orientated, or their sexual drive, most men's sexual drive is more than the women. If you disagree, put it in the comment section. I want to hear from you. Okay, so that can explain why some of these ladies here in this in the book, why they kind of did not have a sexual drive anymore, or were not really, experiencing physical desire for sexual relationships. Okay, so I'll just read them. It says the Apostle Paul was faced with similar questions when believers asked, "Is it a good thing to have sexual relationships?" Certainly, he answers, but only with a certain context. It's good for a man to have a wife and for a woman to have a husband. Sexual drives are strong, but marriage is strong enough to contain them and provide for a balanced and fulfilled life in a world of sexual disorder. Let's pack on that. Sexual drives are strong, but marriage is strong enough to contain them and provide for a balanced and fulfilling life in a world of sexual disorder. To be honest, we are in a world of sexual disorder. Now, please put it in the comment section the characteristics of being in a world, or what are the things that proves that we're in a world of sexual disorder, so that it can be interactive. I'll just read on because of our time. It says the Apostle Paul wasn't only addressing men in this text. He assumes sexual drives are strong for both men and women. Yet there are many women who do not feel sexual desire. As I said before, many other women are not fulfilling their sexual desires, nor are they experiencing a satisfactory sexual relationship with their husband. It's true. The question we need to ask is, how can women embrace their God-given sexuality? For insights, let's look at the Song of Solomon, where Solomon's wife explicitly talks about her desire for her husband. Solomon affirms and connects with his wife. In response to his adoration of her, his wife invites amorous, intimate activity. Now, it says, "May he kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for your love is better than wine. On my bed night after night, I sought him, whom my soul loves. Come, my beloved, let us go into the country. Let us spend the night in the villages. Let us rise early and go to the vineyards. Let us see whether the vine has budded and its blossoms have opened, and whether the pomegranates are bloomed. There I will give you my love." Song of Solomon 1-3 verse 1, 7 verse 11 to 12. This speaks of the pleasure we can derive as godly sexual women, not out of a sense of duty, but because we feel loved and desired for who we are. Not out of a sense of duty, but because we feel loved and desired for who we are in that relationship, in that marriage. Okay? Through our experience of teaching a biblical perspective of sexuality, as well as maintaining a private practice as sexual therapists, my husband and I are convinced that God's intention for us is sexual contentment and containment in singleness and in sexual fulfillment and enjoyment in marriage. Okay? Sexual contentment and containment in singleness and sexual fulfillment and enjoyment in marriage. That is the goal. So my passion is to help you discover who you are as a sexual person and to find and embrace the vitality sex brings to all aspects of life. Sex brings a lot of vitality into every aspect of our life, but it must be done in the context of marriage. So even though this chapter is about you as a woman embracing your sexuality, our book Men and Sex will help your husband or the guy, the man, understand his part in making your role possible by loving you as Christ loves the church. So Ephesians 5:25-28 teaches God's expectation for married men in their sexual relationship with their wife. The Apostle Paul instructs husbands to go all out. All out in their love for their wives, exactly as Christ did for the church. A love marked by giving, not getting. And how did Christ love the church? Look at Philippians 2:5-8. He gave up his rights. He gave up his rights. And likewise, men sometimes have to give up their sexual rights. It says, think of yourselves the way Christ thought of himself. Okay? When time came, he set aside his privileges. He became like us so that he would know us. The husband's role is to understand exactly. I was going to say, Please, why did you say Let me read it again. It says that, that the husband's role, likewise, men sometimes have to give up their sexual rights. And maybe that's why you say They have to give up their sexual rights. It says, think of yourselves the way Christ thought of himself. When time came, he set aside his privileges. He became like us so that he would know us. So the husband's role is to understand exactly where his wife is emotionally and spiritually before proceeding to the sexual parts. But sometimes, most of the time, the man will just want the sex. They don't care about the emotion of the woman. They don't care about the spiritual state of the woman. It's just like sex is, that's what is in my head right now. That's what it is. They don't care about, even when it's about foreplay or whatever. Sometimes, Okay, so it says, after waiting for years. You understand when you get married. The comment here says, after waiting for years to get married, we will give it up again when married. Yay. No. That's not what it's saying. It's not that you're going to give it up. It's more that it's more that you delay. It's like you're having delayed gratification. That is not about you alone. So it's about the other person too, the woman, in context also, that even though the man might just want sex like that, but they're saying here that at least think of what the woman wants first. Like think of, understand the woman. The woman just the woman wants, like a preparation basically, like to talk to me, or like, how are you emotionally, and that kind of a way. But most times men are not patient. Men are not patient to be able to, walk through with the woman in order for it to lead to sex. Do you understand? And that is why you find that most men are into pornography, because there's no delayed gratification anywhere. Welcome, Cleo. There's no delayed oh Jesus, what's that English? There's no delayed gratification. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, good. There's no delayed gratification when it comes to pornography, because they just go into it and they see what they want to see, and they are aroused. You understand? But they don't have to deal with a woman that is, unhappy, or they have to prepare the woman, or like start talking. How are you emotionally? How are you this, or maybe love language, or so in a relationship. And that's why pornography is so bad, because in the actual sense of relationship, it skews one's brain, it skews one's mind on what sexuality is about. Recently, I was listening to a podcast and they said sexuality is not only about physical, it's not only about the body, it's about the mind, body, and soul. Sex is not only about the body, it's about the mind, body, and soul. So, men need to get it. Men need to get it. Women need to get it. Do you understand? What is the mind? What is your mind towards the other person in the relationship? the soul. Are you emotionally okay together? That is what it's talking about. That's the sexual, that's like if we want to have sexual fulfillment or sexual intimacy. And most times men might feel like, oh, it's just physical. And when it's physical, you're not really, it's just physical. It's a physical act, basically. And that's why men can have sex with so many people and they're not really attached to them. You see, So when we begin to start debunking all of these myths, we'll be able to get it right that, these are the dangers. So we'll get it right. That we'll be able to prepare ourselves for a thriving relationship in the future. It's saying here that the husband's role is to understand exactly where his wife is emotionally and spiritually before proceeding to the sexual part. So it's good that we are having this knowledge now, because many times, I don't know if a lot of men are probably mentored correctly, to know how to do this in a relationship. Okay, so that means the man must even be patient. The man must be able to care enough to know what the woman is going through, emotionally and spiritually before proceeding to the sexual aspect of it. Okay, so you see, I'll just read on. It says, Christ loved us before we responded to him. So when we're talking about the man loving the woman as the husband loving the wife as Christ loved the church, they're saying here that Christ loved us before we responded to him. In other words, the man too should love the woman, even if the woman doesn't respond immediately. You understand what I'm saying? Should love the woman. It says the wife must experience her husband's unconditional love and attention in order to give herself freely to him. So if you are single here, you want to get married one day, you must be prepared to give unconditional love and attention to your, especially if you're a guy now, to your wife. So you need to start asking yourself questions. Am I in that capacity? Do I have that capacity to do that? Or am I too selfish? Or I don't even have that time. I don't have that patience. So you must be able to give unconditional love and attention in order for your wife to be able to give herself freely to you. Okay, whether we are considering the husband's role or the wife's role, as a couple, the basic biblical teaching for sex in marriage is the concept of mutuality. Simply stated, this concept is that both individuals come together in order to share themselves freely with each other. They are both naked and they are not ashamed. They are sharing themselves. My body is your body, your body is my body. In a sane relationship, in a sane relationship whereby God is even the head of both of them. My body is your body is my body. So whatever you do with that body concerns me. Do you get what I mean? Simply stated, the concept is that both individuals come together in order to share themselves. They share themselves freely with each other, enjoying the pleasure of each other's bodies, but never at the expense of the other. Okay? In a healthy way. So when this occurs as God intended, there inevitably is mutuality. Okay? Mutuality. The husband seeking to satisfy his wife and let me go back. 1 Corinthians 7 tells us that marriage bed is a place of mutuality. Mutuality. The husband seeking to satisfy his wife and the wife seeking to satisfy her husband. So when we choose to commit ourselves to another in marriage, we have decided to give ourselves to our spouse, both in bed and out. Marriage is not the place to stand up for our rights. Whoa. Marriage is not the place to stand up for our rights. So we're supposed to be mutual with one another when it comes to our marital bed. Share your comments in the comment section. I want to hear from you, what you have to say, what are your thoughts on today's topic, the chapter today, sexual fulfillment in marriage. Sexual fulfillment in marriage. This is a very, very, very important topic discussion that we are having today. Important. Maybe for the Q&A session, might actually do something. So the next goal, because I can't see any comment here, so I'll just keep going. The woman's role, the next outline says the woman's role for sex in marriage. The woman's role for sex in marriage. It said enjoy sex. The woman's role for sex in marriage is to know herself sexually and to share herself with her husband. In order to do this, she must be able to enjoy sex, listen to her body, lead by invitation, and heal from past or present hurts. What are some of the ways we can enhance our ability to enjoy sex? This is in marriage. I need to put that clause there. In marriage. So for a lot of people that are here, they are single or something, just be, it's the preparation for marriage, okay? Just have the knowledge, but this is in marriage, okay? So some of the ways we can enhance our ability to enjoy sex. Number 1, discard unrealistic expectations. See you. Discard unrealistic expectations. Noted. Good. Discard, because it must be done in the right context. So I'm not talking about enjoying sex when you are single now. No, that's not what we're saying here. Okay, because we want to do it God's way. So if you have been having sex, please stop. Maybe we should even talk about that. If you have been having sex as a single person, you're not building the right, how do I say? You're not building up a right, you're not doing it the right way. If you want to do it God's way, if you want to do it God's way, if you're having sex as a single person right now, please stop. If you want to do it God's way, this is a new day, and I know I want to hear from us. If you want to do it God's way, you need to stop. If you're having sex as a single person, you're not striving to do it God's way, and you need to stop that. Whatever you need to do to stop that, you need to start working on it right now because of where you're going in the future. Okay? But here it says that what are some of the ways we can enhance our ability to enjoy sex? Number 1, discard unrealistic expectations. Sex is not going to be what you see in the media or read in romance novels. Instead, look to real people in your life who will share what has brought them fulfillment. Become knowledgeable about how the body and how you work sexually. Most times, another thing for single people is that, for even young adults transitioning into the single stage, you need to learn yourself. You need to know who you are as a person, as a man or as a woman. You need to study yourself. You need to know who you are. You need to know yourself. You need to become a woman of yourself, become a man of yourself. Find your own rhythm. You know how you work, how your body works. You will be able to know what excites you. You will be able to understand your own self. And that is so important to be able to live a life of singleness before going into marriage. Another thing I wanted to say is that we must get off the apron of our parents in preparation for marriage. Get off the apron of your parents in preparation to marriage. You don't tie yourself to your parents' apron to go follow you into marriage. No, you must get yourself off the apron, even mentally and psychologically, so that you become a single person indeed. So this is a preparation, okay? Preparation for what you want to be. No, you have to be single, even getting into marriage. You must be whole in yourself. So in order for us to even, enjoy sex, even though we say abstain from sex when you're single, but then you must also you must be sexually intelligent also. You must be sexually intelligent. Be knowledgeable about how the body and how you work sexually. So we must understand ourselves. Okay, my time is 11:29, so I'm gonna end on this one. Discard unrealistic expectations. Know yourself sexually. Because of our time, 11:30, I'm going to be ending this right now. So if you have any comments in the comment section, please let me know. Any questions, anything. This is going to be interesting anyways. It's going to be interesting. In order for us to be able to, get the right knowledge. Today's topic has been sexual fulfillment in marriage. Sexual fulfillment in marriage. Do we have any comments before we go? Any questions before we go? If not, thank you so much for joining today. We are on the series, The Joy of Marriage, God's Way by Beverly, Lahaye. So, and I hope this has blessed you one way or another. Okay, cool, okay. We will upload our questions tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can put it there. I will spend a few minutes. If you have questions on this on this sexual fulfillment that we talk about, you can quickly put it in the comments, and then we'll see. We'll see if you can tackle it today. Sexual fulfillment in marriage. I'm waiting for your comments. If you have any questions, I'm waiting for it. So let me just go to the second point while we're waiting for the questions. The second one says, learn to receive compliments. Okay, yes, I have a question here. Can people get addictive? Plenty questions. Oh, so okay. I mean, when one is single for a long time. Okay. So can people, so I have a question here, plenty questions. I have a question. It says, can people get addictive to being single? Can people get addictive to being single? That means when they are single for a long time, can they be addictive to being single? I think so. So are you saying that like they are so used to being single that they have no accommodation for somebody else in their life? Yes. Somebody can be like that, yes. And there must be something wrong, really. There must be something wrong in that. There must be something wrong why the person has resolved to that. You understand? That's not ideal, because it's not good for a man to be alone. To be honest, it's not good for, no man is an island. No woman is an island. It's not good for a man to be alone. It's not good for a man to be alone. God created us in community. Yeah. God created us in community. For us to live together. Fellowship together and all that kind of stuff. So when we are in a state of we don't want anybody in our life, we just prefer to be single. We just want to do it by ourselves, whatever. But there's something wrong somewhere. That's a signal of probably past hurts, past wounds. Okay, I have a question there. Okay, past hurts, past wounds, but also now let me put it in context, because I can see comments here. It says that what if I want to be single and serve the Lord? That's also true. Okay. But the question that I was asking is that in the unhealthy aspect of it. So let's make it to be like two aspects. Yeah, there can be an unhealthy way of being single and a healthy way of being single. So in the context where CEO Mikasi said that what if I want to be single and serve the Lord? That is also fine, actually. There's nothing wrong in that, to be honest. And that doesn't mean that anything is wrong with the person. The person just wants to feel, even in the Bible, I think Paul was saying that, like I would encourage you that you should stay single. Don't even get married, because when you are married, you're going to be worried with marriage things and all that. But if you want to really focus, focus on God and serving God. But then how do you manage the temptations? How do you manage, it is when the body is burning, you have some passions, you have some sexual desires and everything like that. And that's why sometimes they encourage you that, you should get married. But to be honest, when you're actually whole, it's okay also if you choose. To be honest, it's okay if one chooses that, I don't want to have any relationship. I don't want to have any marital relationship, that I want to be single. As long as you're single and you are living holy. Because at the end of the day, if that is what it is, you are single and you're living holy, you want to serve the Lord, fine, go ahead, do it. But it's not a lot of people that are single. It's not a lot of people that are single and are living holy. You see. So the point is, you're single, but you want to still be sleeping around. You still want to be doing everything. You want to be having all the benefits that is put in the marital context. That one is not good. Could it work? But in our society today, we see a whole lot of things. But the point is, do I want to live my life to please God, or I just want to do it my way? You see. Thank you so much for your comments. If you have any, yes, it's not easy. Yeah. It is not. It is not, to be honest. It is not. And especially in our generation where doing the wrong thing is so popular and so normal, and nobody's, it's just acceptable and everything. And you have to think to yourself, because at the end of the day, guess what? When we are living also, let us put our eternity in perspective. That, hey, God, if the trumpet just sound right now, with the way I'm living my life right now, am I going to make it to heaven, or am I going to make it to hell? I don't think we have such. Do we have such thoughts in our heads sometimes? Do we think about that? Because sometimes we live this life as if this is all there is. This is not all there is at all. This is not all there is. And guess what? Last year, even during the pandemic, the COVID-19, everything, young people were dying, old people were dying, middle-aged people were dying. So we can die at any time. And the way I'm living my life, if anything happens, do you get what I mean? And I just, I'm gone. Even by this broadcast, if anything happens, where am I going to find myself? We should put that into context sometimes when we are living our lives and when we are making choices about our lives. It's not about I'm trying to prove a point to the society or something. No, it's more than that. We have a greater purpose for our life, more than all of those things. I'm trying to be politically correct. No, it's more than that. When the breath of life is gone like this, with the choices that I'm making in my life and in my relationship, am I going to make it to heaven? Ooh, I'm going to hand on that note, people. Thank you so much for your questions. If you have any more, tomorrow we'll be tackling it. Thank you so much. I'm so crazy. Omikazi, I saw Cleo earlier on. I'm Regina. Thank you so much. And, remember to live every moment, laugh every day, and love beyond words. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I mean Abiola Ogunwale. So I'm going to see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. GMT. Okay. Oh, enjoy your day and think about everything that we've talked about. And may you have strength for today. The mighty name of Jesus. Thank you. See you, Mikazi. See you tomorrow, everybody. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Love you all. Love you. Bye.